What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 3 of the Rocket Punch Show. I'm one of your hosts, Cameron, joined as always by my co-host in crime, Will. It's been a
day.
What a long, strange week it's been.
Bro, man, you telling me.
I got sick last week.
Yeah?
And that really just threw the front part of my week off completely.
Well, yeah, I mean, you had your birthday and all of a sudden you come down with this weird gamer flu.
I don't know what it was. I still don't know what the hell happened. So for people, the reason why we didn't have a show last week, so I'm here all weekend and I'm sitting in the house. I'm like, man, it is really cold in this house. What is going on? And so Sunday afternoon finally comes up. I'm like, it's cold. I talked to my wife. I'm like, hun, what the hell's going on? It's cold. Let's turn the air up. And she's like, it's already up. And she's like, she touches me like, oh my God, you're burning hot. And I'm freezing cold. I've got chills. Turns out, yeah, I was sick. So I laid down and I was out for Sunday, Monday, and then I was better Tuesday, but not 100%. And so I don't know what it was. Something put me down pretty hard.
It's fine. Do you play any FF7? I'm brain farting real hard right now.
Take your time.
The PSP game.
Yes. No, I haven't had a chance to play that yet. So let's actually talk about that because, first of all, Super Stevie, hello, welcome to the stream. I see you in chat, helping to get this party started.
Howdy.
So,
you kept it all.
So for people who don't know, last week was my birthday, and so I'm sick, and this dude.
Yes.
This guy,
I'm a dude,
decides he still wants to come over.
He's a dude. We're all dudes.
We're not recording the show, and so he's like, let's come over, and I've got this gift for you. So I'm like, that's fine, just don't get close to me. I wanted to bring this up because this was a big deal for me. So in this bag, yeah, there it is. Number one, first thing he hands me is this. So in case the people don't know, Will, describe to them what this is.
This is a Japanese release PSP 3000 in the white color that was only available over there. I had to wait a month for it to come in from Japan.
It is gorgeous, and I feel bad putting my dirty, grubby little paws on it.
Yeah, for some reason, used consoles out of Japan are immaculate compared to the ones out of the United States. I have no idea why. It's almost like they care about the stuff they purchase over there.
Yeah, probably. So on this system as well are it's a memory card and it has a lot of games that are preloaded on there that I can play. Some that are very, very fun and near and dear to my heart. Also with this, I got a bunch of PSP games. Final Fantasy Tactics, War of the Lions, excellent game.
Still sealed for some reason.
Well, it's on there too. I'm not open it yet, man.
No, I'm more saying I can't believe it's still sealed.
We're going to talk about that in a minute here. Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII, which this is 100% on brand for Cameron. Ape Escape Academy, again, another game that is on brand for Cameron. Fantasy Golf, I think I showed this to Seth. He said this is basically anime golf. Yes.
Yeah, that's why I got it, because you're a weeb.
This is
like the rest
golf.
of us.
Yes, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
And then the original Ape Escape, at least the PSP version of the first game that came out. And then the coup de grace of, to seal this off, is the original Japanese version of Ape Escape.
Saru get you.
In its entire case, all the disc and all the pamphlets and everything are inside. You said this took about another month too, right?
Yeah, that and the PSP each took a month. So what's different about the PlayStation stuff from Japan versus America as far as interface? I'm sure you realized it almost immediately.
No, I haven't. No.
So on the console, if you want to say yes to something, it's circle instead of X.
Oh, yeah.
Little things like that.
There are still some games that implement and do that, so...
Yeah, it's very interesting that in Japan, circle is yes and X is no. It's almost like they realize that, no, get away from me.
Yeah. If you watch enough anime, that's very on theme there. Yeah. But no, I've been playing... The game I've been playing the most of so far is Metal Gear Acid. This...
Hang on.
Oh, okay, no, he's going to pull stuff up. But this it was a super awesome gift. For people who don't know, yeah, he's got the silver one. Oh my god, he brought it.
Yeah. So not only did I do all that, I got a silver one so that we can do the co-op games.
Yes.
I also picked up a video out cable so that it'll run into a capture card, so we can actually stream the games we're playing.
Ooh, and we're gonna figure out some time to do that. Because some of these games are gems. I like Metal Gear Acid is a gem for me. I love that game to death. But like this was a super awesome gift. I was telling you, that there are a lot of memories for me of like us, playing these back in the day,
like the Bleach games from back in the day. Did you ever play Untold Legends?
Yes, I think we did.
Okay, yeah. So back in the day, I used to play the hell out of this game called Untold Legends with my cousin Chuck, and it's based on D&D.
Yeah, wasn't just like Baldur's Gate, but for portable.
I mean, kinda, but it nowhere near as like grotesque as Baldur's Gate can get.
Okay, okay, true enough. But
it was more Diablo-like than anything else.
Yeah, okay, I'll agree with you on that one. But this is an awesome gift, and I loved it, and thank you very much. Now that I'm kosher and I don't have like any illness. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're good, dude.
I
was like, no. You talk about these games, you need to be able to play these games.
Very special.
Also,
place.
I made sure the best Final Fantasy is on it as well. Final Fantasy 9.
Along with 8 and 7, they're on there too.
I mean, yeah, but the best one's on there.
Best. So subjective. So subjective.
Yeah. I mean, you can beat the game at level 40 if you really want to just abuse the system.
But still. It's fun to be had if you keep going through.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying.
But no, that was more or less my week. Anything to jump in and add for this week?
So, I mean, a small announcement. Disorderly conduct is still going to have to be pushed. One of the people involved is still on vacation, funny enough.
That jerk.
I know. It's like his sister works at Disney and lives in Orlando, and so he can just go there essentially for free or near free for weeks on end away from work. And then when he does get back from work, surprise, the weekends are his D&D time. So, Saturday and Sunday he plays D&D most of the day.
Wow. He's with like multiple campaigns?
Yeah. Oh, he's got 3 different campaigns going on right now.
God bless him.
Oh, dude, yeah. So funny enough, he DM'd the first campaign I was involved in.
You've told me about that. Yeah. So that's...
Yeah. I was very, very stupid back then.
A lot of things you did. You might have wanted
to
do
No. I had a lush Dragonborn who was an absolute lush. Meanwhile, like, I'm playing a character that's drinking out of a keg as I was drinking a lot of beer, so,
Yes, I do remember stories about this. But of course, we're going to talk about this and a whole lot more because if you did not know, guys, welcome to the Rocket Punch Show, your southern source for all things gaming, geek, and more. You can listen to this show every Tuesday on your podcast service of choice. We're on all the big ones there, so go find us on the RSS feed. Google Rocket Punch Show. You'll find us on that. You can also listen to us live as we record the show each and every week. Right here on twitch.tv/Rocket Punch Live at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time is the normal time. We went a little bit later because, and I'll tell you why in just a second. And of course, guys, that way you can kind of join us in our conversations that we have and talk about. We love your guys' interactions and input in the chat. We love having you guys with us here. So thank you and welcome to everyone who's joining us in Twitch chat. If you want to know more about Rocket Punch and what we do, make sure you head over to our brand spanking new site over at rocketpunchgo.com. That is your one-stop shop for all things Rocket Punch. Our videos, podcasts, streams, and a whole lot more are going to be right there at your fingertips, so don't miss out on that. If you want to be a part of the Rocket Punch family, make sure you head over to our Discord channel if you haven't had a chance to already. That way you can join in and talk to us when we're not on the mic or right in front of the camera. That way during the week you can goof off with us, have insightful conversations, or just look for somebody to play some games with, because we're always on there. If you want to support the show and support us, there are many ways you can do that, guys. The easiest and most simple way you can do that is simply share our content, view it, consume it, interact with us here, and share it. Let your friends know. If you let at least one person know about our content each week, that is a huge help for us because we're wanting to do our best to get out to more people and more ears. So sharing our content on your social media platform of choice is always helpful. Also, following us on those social media platforms is also great too. You can follow us at Rocket Punch Go on Twitter, Rocket Punch Network over on Facebook, and Rocket Punch Go on Instagram as well. If other ways you can support us as well, if you're watching via Twitch, you can always throw us your free Twitch Prime sub. That always helps us out. And you'll get access to cool new emotes that you can use in chat during the show and in any of our streams we do throughout the week. And if you want to go even further beyond, you can also consider becoming one of our patrons over at patreon.com/rocketpunch. For as little as $1 a month, you can help support the show, help keep the lights running, and get access to exclusive unlocks, behind-the-scenes content, exclusive shows, and a whole lot more. Speaking on Patreon, our Silver Plus membership tier, where you actually get everything at the Gold tier at a lower price, is still available. This is going to be the last week that you can do that. So if you were interested and were thinking about maybe joining us and supporting us on Patreon, you better head over there now, because on March 1st, the Silver Plus tier is going away, and you won't be able to have access to that anymore.
Oh, that's a shame.
It is a shame.
But I get it too. It's like,
Gotta give them some incentives,
stuff, right? Junk,
And speaking of Patreon, guys, as we do in every piece of content we make, we give special shout-outs to our Patreon producers, people supporting us at our Platinum tier. So a special shout-out and thank you to the producers, Chuck O, Joci M, Sam S, Jeremy M, Stephen S, and Tyler H. Thank you guys so much for your continued support there. Upcoming events and announcements here, real quick, running through for you guys. The Rocket Punch Cast bonus episode for February 2020 is now available. So if you are a patron supporting us at our Gold membership, you can head over to Patreon right now, listen to that episode. If you're a Silver Plus member, you can also join over there as well and give that a listen. I think we go through our games of the decade.
Yes.
That was the episode we did. Yeah, we did our games of the decade. So if you want to hear what our games of the decade were, head over to patreon.com/rocketpunch right now and check it out. Console Wars Episode 1 it's been available to all listeners and viewers. It is still on the Rocket Punch Show feed if you're listening via podcast services. And if not, you can head over to our YouTube page and check out the video there. That's kind of our first introductory episode. We actually just recorded Episode 2 of Console Wars, so that's getting ready to be prepped for March. So be on the lookout for that sometime soon.
Oh boy, I can't wait to hear my inadvertent call into the show.
That's great. I was like, he's going to call. You know what? We're going to put him on the show. That was fun.
Yeah. Did you expect what I was going to say?
No, I didn't. But it's not. It's very on brand for you for what you said.
I mean, golden flowing locks and all.
Yeah, it's very on brand.
Yeah. If you guys don't know, I'm about PC gaming.
The next up as well. So I am very happy to announce, I know when we did our announcement video, we had talked about the show, but we really didn't say much about it because we really hadn't formed it up yet. But our board game podcast, Dice, Decks, and Design, in collaboration with Carla over at Weird Giraffe Games, that is done. We have the first episode recorded and ready to rock and roll. There's some post-production that's going to be done with that episode. But as we said before, expect that in March of 2020. Once we get post-production and look at the schedule, we're going to nail out and let you guys know when the exact date that episode will be there.
Yes.
I'm excited about it. It was really good. It was very unique, a very different style that, I was very much outside of my knowledge range.
That's okay, though, because that means you're going to learn.
Yeah, and I did. It was really cool, and board games are just also fun. It was really awesome.
Excellent.
And of course, both of those shows, guys, if you want to get them early, you can also jump on to, again, support us on Patreon. You'll be able to get those episodes early. And also, reviews are coming this week. 100% for sure. We've got the written stuff down. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, which will be our first review in a while.
Yes.
Will be up, right?
Yes. I'm going to be putting it up Wednesday.
Okay.
Reasoning behind this is my life has been a little busy, and I apologize, but written has finished. I have to record the voiceover and then do the editing. Luckily, I have a pretty good idea of how I want the editing to go already, and I already know where things are in my footage because I recorded the gameplay.
We prepared. We planned for this.
So, yeah, it'll be up Wednesday. Realistically, I will take a good chunk of tomorrow to finish the editing, but voiceover will be recorded tonight, pending Cameron's approval of the written review, since he's the editor-in-chief.
Yeah. Yeah.
I use air quotes because
please,
there's two of us.
Please, people might get the wrong idea here.
It's like, yeah, there's two of us. We don't have a fleet of Rocketeers behind us, so.
One day.
And I will call everyone Rocketeers. Don't you worry.
But be on the lookout for that, guys. That'll, the game's been out for a while, but that's really our first jump back into reviews. So be on the lookout for that, and really let us know. Give us some feedback on that. Let us know what you think, what you would like more out of them, because we're getting back into that swing of things with reviews, and we definitely want to make sure we're doing things the way we want to and the way you guys are expecting them to be done. Other than that, content, Twitch for Rocket Punch Live this week. It's kind of the same schedule as it was last week. Tuesday may switch to Thursday. I've got to look at my schedule to make sure. But I'm going to play some Days Gone. I haven't jumped back into that game in a while. I figured I'd jump back into that and play it a little bit more.
All right.
On Tuesday. Wednesday is going to be Apex Legends, because that just seems to be, man, oh my god, if you didn't get a chance, I got to talk about it on the show. So last week when I streamed Apex Legends, we inadvertently had a Apex Legends battle against other players from the Twitch Huntsville group.
Okay.
I was joined by BlackRock 14
Yep.
and Sanders Pool. Our team was
Black Sand Punch.
In a nail biter. Because we had a scoring system, we won 88 to 87.
Yeah, I saw all that. And I was just like, huh.
We took the win. We brought it home. I was super happy about that.
Dude, I gotta say, it made it much more entertaining. So good.
You raced around I think.
Now, meanwhile, while you guys were doing that, I was busy going between Kakarot and The Division.
See, those are good games too.
No, I don't mean the game Kakarot. I mean the review for Kakarot.
Oh, the review for Kakarot. That's fun. But I had fun. It kind of came out of nowhere, but we had a blast playing that game, and I think a lot of people had fun with that. So we'll keep that going. And then Sunday, it says Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. It's going
to be The Division 2, because I'm going to join you, because I'm off Sunday.
Sunday will be The Division 2.
And you know the best part is, I'm just going to bring my laptop over and play on the laptop.
Yeah! That'll be great.
So I'll just be the camera in the background and be like, get wrecked, fools.
Let's go. You'll hear echo. Is there echo? That'll be awesome.
Yeah. So we won't really need Discord unless people want to squad up.
I bet we could find some people to squad up.
Ooh, we ought to get Sanders Pool in.
Yeah, he'll join in.
Ooh, yeah. You know what? I got an idea. I wonder if Mrs. Poole would approve. I gotta talk to them.
We'll talk and see.
Yeah,
but he'll join up definitely.
Because funny enough, Mrs. Poole and Mr. Poole will be here tomorrow night.
Ooh, so we picked their brain about stuff. Good.
Yes. Well, you know what tomorrow night is.
It's D&D night.
It's D&D. I'm muffling it so we don't get copyright striked.
It's super. It was just that campaign. I'm ready to jump back in and keep playing it.
Yes.
So that's it for our streaming there on Rocket Punch Live, guys. So if you want to know when we're going live, just head over. If you're watching via Twitch, just click the heart up here. Follow us on Twitch, and that way you'll know when we're going live. Let's jump into the news. For people who don't know, news is kind of where we talk about the latest and greatest news updates from the past week. Because we didn't have an episode last week, this is a little bit bloated, more than normal. But there wasn't really much news from this past week that was of huge significance. So, and a lot of I think you saw a lot of these. A lot of them are very quick updates on things. Yeah, there's some stuff we'll definitely jump in to talk about here. Number one, we got an Anthem update. Will?
Well, we get the promise of an Anthem update.
You're correct here. I'm going to read directly from
Casey Hudson's mouth.
Casey Hudson from his mouth over on the BioWare blog here. Anthem update. Hey everyone. 1 year ago, we were preparing to launch Anthem, a game that represented a big leap into new territory for us as a studio. It was an exhilarating and terrifying experience to go out to the world with something new and different, and we are grateful to all the players who have come along with us on this journey. It has been a thrill for us to see the creativity of our players in designing customized javelins and watching them master Anthem's flying and fighting gameplay. I am so proud of the work the team has put into the game, and at the same time, there's so much more that we and you would have wanted from it. Over the last year, the team has worked hard to improve stability, performance, and general quality of life while delivering 3 seasons of new content and features. We have also heard your feedback that Anthem needs a more satisfying loot experience, better long-term progression, and a more fulfilling endgame. So we recognize that there's still more fundamental work to be done to bring out the full potential of the experience, and it will require a more substantial reinvention than an update or expansion. Over the coming months, we will be focusing on a longer-term redesign of the experience, specifically working to reinvent the core gameplay loop with clear goals, motivating challenges, and progression with meaningful rewards, while preserving the fun and flying of fighting in a vast science fantasy setting. And to do that properly, we'll be doing something we'd like to have done more of the first time around, giving a focused team the time to test and iterate, focusing on gameplay first. In the meantime, we will continue to run the current version of Anthem, but move away from full seasons as the team works toward the future of Anthem. We'll keep the game going with events, store refreshes, and revisiting past seasonal and Cataclysm content, starting with our anniversary toward the end of the month. Creating new worlds is central to our studio mission, but it's not easy. Who's that?
Stig says, I can hear your shirt cam with the sub.
Good. Sometimes we get it right, sometimes we miss. What keeps us going is the support from players like you. Your feedback gives us guidance on how we can improve, and your passion inspires us with the courage to create. I look forward to working together with your involvement and feedback towards the best possible future for Anthem. Casey Hudson. Will.
Mm-hmm.
Did this do anything for you?
I'm on the fence with this.
Okay.
I hope it does good things.
Okay.
My concern would be is if the update to Anthem costs money. We both own the game. It is one of those things that if this is a $60 release to fix the first $60 release, I will not buy it and I will not play it. If this is an update that is part of a larger thing that you get this update for free, but we're also going to be releasing almost like how Destiny's gone almost free to play, but they have the quarterly model of Battle Pass and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. I could see that succeeding. Because there is one thing that Anthem does better than any other game at this point. It is the best damn Iron Man simulator on the planet.
Full stop. Full stop.
They did it better than any other Iron Man game out there has ever done. I think they're going to be better at flight mechanics than Iron Man actually in the Avengers game.
Probably. Probably.
But not only that, I feel like there's something special there with the javelins. This game has potential. The base has potential. But right now, until they figure out their vision for the game and actually execute upon the vision and figure out where they're going, it's got big problems, and I'm very much in a wait-and-see mode.
Okay.
That's kind of where I am. I want them to do well. I want BioWare to be better than where they are. And ultimately, the only way they're going to get better is if they try it. Worst case scenario, they get their hand slapped again. And then either EA at that point closes them or they figure something else out.
Yeah. It was very interesting. 2 points I want to bring up. The number one, the point you made about the price. Look, if they charge for this, whatever this is,
right?
If they charge for it, my initial gut thing was like, okay, that's a huge mistake. Especially number one, at the minimum, my opinion is that this game should be whatever the update, whatever new thing they're trying to do is, because they said that it has to be more than an update or an expansion.
Right.
It has to be an update. Just not in the traditional sense of an update.
It needs to be a relaunch like No Man's Sky had, yes. The 2.0.
I'm glad you brought that game up. Because I'm going to reference that in a minute. It has to be free for all current owners of Anthem.
Yes.
Period. If you go out...
People who paid into the system need to be rewarded.
Yes. 1,000,000%. You could maybe flip a coin on the EA Access people, but if you bought this game full price... you should not have to pay for whatever their new update is. Now, they could do something very similar to No Man's Sky 2.0. What they did was that and it kind of helped them that they were not on the Xbox platform, but when they came out, they were, when the 2.0 update came out, it was free to all current owners, and then they released the Xbox version. Now, it was like $60, which might be a little high, but Xbox hadn't had the game until now, and when people had positive buzz about it, people started buying the game. I think the thing I would want to see is maybe put this game free to current owners and maybe do something like $40 if you haven't bought the game yet.
Yeah.
And maybe add some extra incentives if you're buying it for the first time.
Yeah. If you're going to do that, though, free to current owners, give them some kind of like special commemorative skin or something that shows...
You're a founder.
Yeah, some kind of founder thing that nobody else can get.
Because the big thing is that if the updates have to be substantial enough that they have to pay for it. Like, let's not kid ourselves about this. Other than the flight mechanics and a few other things, Anthem has seen its fair share of criticism on its content and its gameplay.
Deservedly so, though.
Yeah, no, it earned every little bit of it. I mean, I still have it installed on my computer. Have I played it in a while?
I mean, yeah, it's installed on my desktop. I'm not putting it on my laptop.
Exactly. And the other point I want to bring up with this is this sentence right here. Quote, "And to do that properly, we'll be doing something we'd like to have done more of the first time around. Giving a focused team the time to test and iterate, focusing on gameplay first." End quote. That shows me very clearly the problems that they had the first time around.
So what you're telling me is Casey's bringing back what's his name? I am serious lapsing. The guy over Respawn.
Zampella.
Yeah, that Zampella's bringing to the other EA studio that they sent him to be in charge of in LA.
Give people time to test your game.
Test it, iterate on it, build it proper, listen to feedback, and actually have an overall arcing vision. Wow.
Yeah,
who knows?
Who
knows? Maybe Casey Hudson fixes this place. I hope he does.
Casey Hudson has always been a positive impact, and then, he left, and then this issues with Anthem happened, so a lot of people are hoping that Casey is going to kind of steer the ship right on course.
Oh, man. Who just got brought over to Blizzard? I'm sorry. I'm seriously blanking tonight.
Rod?
Yeah. Maybe he's going to have that Rod effect where he comes in, straightens things out, gets it done.
Fingers crossed. I hope so.
Oh, man.
Stigander in chat says, "I wonder if the late blooming success of No Man's Sky accidentally set a trend among AAA devs that think they can get away with it. Thinking specifically of Anthem and Warcraft 3 Reforged." I mean, based on what we've seen from the Jason Schreier think piece on Anthem and its problems, there were a lot of problems with Anthem merely than just like, oh, just release it, we'll fix it later. I think that was one.
It was one issue.
Yeah, one problem of a larger pot of nastiness.
Yeah, the big pot of nastiness that caused the massive majority of the problems was the toxicity coming out of Edmonton towards Austin and the rest of BioWare, and how that essentially wasted 6 years of development time.
And so I don't think a developer really wants to do that, because that is a lot of money lost, especially like you have that big buzz and then you have to spend additional money to get the game back to where it needs to be. Now, No Man's Sky is riding high on that success, I think.
Well, and to be fair, the thing with No Man's Sky is he lied in the beginning and said you could play with other people. People called him on his crap.
Yeah.
And everything from there to that point to now has essentially been making up for the lie. So there's problems, and they needed to be addressed. Now they've been addressed, and now they're actually just making the game they wanted. I wish they would have just done that in the first place.
Yeah. But it's like No Man's Sky is doing very well. Like, the game is where it should have been, and even more so. I think what Sean Murray and them, they've gone above and beyond.
Yes, but the game is where it should have been a year after release, not 2 or 3.
Now that I will agree with. 100%. Number 2, I'm going to give this one to you.
Oh,
because it is 100% up your alley.
Oh, yes, The Division 2. Yeah, so I'm going to pull the Kotaku article up here. And
I think that might be... Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that, I think, based off everything I'm seeing, is the better one to go from. So this is a Kotaku article from Steven Totillo, but they flagged it under news, and they're right, it's news. Ubisoft has revealed a surprise Division 2 expansion called Warlords of New York that is designed to revive the game. So essentially, with everything going on is... Man... Sorry, I've just read the first thing, and I'm going to read this verbatim here. The makers of The Division 2 have waited until nearly the last possible moment to give their frustrated player base a heap of potentially good news. After spending weeks failing to announce a release date for an expected small extension to the game, they're revealing today that mini expansion, a free 2-mission excursion to Brooklyn's Coney Island, but is a prelude to a much more content, which is all coming out less than 3 weeks later. It's true, it can create some frustration, blah, blah, blah. Essentially, long story short, what's going on is you can go do Coney Island. There's a bunch of stuff over there. You can fly back up to New York.
That was episode 3 of their, the seasonal plan.
For the whatever. Season 1 or year 1.
Yeah.
Year 2 of The Division is $30 for the expansion. It's going to be $40 after March 3rd, or after March 2nd, really. The game right now, for the entirety of the game, is $33. They've dropped the price of the Division 2 down to $3, and you can buy the expansion for $30. The reason why they're doing this is they're trying to get butts in seats, people playing games, because, you want to make that money on the expansion sale. So just pay us a nominal fee and we'll get you in the door kind of deal.
Yep.
But this $30 expansion is changing the way the game works entirely. They're adding more specializations. So you're going to get a flamer, essentially, so you can roll around with a flamethrower. There's a minigun you can get now, or as I call it, the chowder maker.
I bet that's going to be you. I bet you can get that.
Funny enough, I like the grenade launcher better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm still a demolitionist at heart. Freedom Cannon needs to stay mounted and in place.
I switched over to demolitionist.
I love demolitionist. It's so good. But... the cool thing is we're going to have different zones of New York available to play, as well as DC. So we're kind of getting Division 1 in our Division 2, and it's not a bad thing.
Yes. So, it's really awesome.
Yeah, they're essentially reusing assets from other parts of the old game and making new zones for this game, which I wish Destiny 2 had done that. There are parts of Earth and all the other maps that they could have done so many cool things with.
I figured it wouldn't have been hard to do that either.
Yes. Well, Massive is doing it. So essentially, there's going to be 4 zones compared to the base game's 11, from Wall Street to Chinatown, as players hunt for Aaron Keener, the rogue agent antagonist of the original Division game. So that guy that we couldn't kill the first time? We're going after him again.
Bring him back. Getting him.
Yes. Week later, we're going to have an overhaul of Division 2 that's going to make it a seasonal game.
I was read this because this is important to me.
Yes, so we're making it into a seasonal game. Existing in-game content is going to be reconfigured and tweaked to tell 3-month narratives. The complete with new tasks, game-changing global events, new audio logs, and hunt for new enemies. Ubisoft cut the price, which I just mentioned. Afterwards, it'll be $40 if you don't pick it up beforehand. So you're saving $7 by buying it now. And then... all this is meant is to spark new interest, and a game expected to be a major hit when it launched last March, and then it stumbled. Really, the big issue with the Division 2 when it first came out, and funny enough, we were there in the beginning with Puminal. So just so you guys know, we made it to World Tier 5. I had gear score 495 was where I was at when I started playing again. Now I'm at 499. Gear cap is 500. The game had problems, but it was a lot of fun. I had 60 hours into it. And gonna be honest, I love The Division as far as the way the guns feel, what's going on, how they changed the bosses now, to where now if they're wearing armor, you can damage that singular piece of armor over the weak point to then do crit damage on it. So if they're wearing a helmet and I need headshots to kill this guy, I can blow his helmet off and then shoot him in the head, and his health bar starts dropping, even though he's got all this other armor. I love that because it brings some reality to the MMO-like shooter genre that we've been running into, where before everything was bullet sponges, and it's well, I got this big LMG. Why am I putting 500 rounds into this guy and he's not dead?
Yeah. It was one of the big concerns that they, in a way, kind of tweaked and changed in Division 2.
Yes.
The big things I like the big things I like about this, the changes. Number one, the fact that it's going to be simpler when you're looking at your gear stats. I always thought that all the numbers and stuff were very complex.
Yes, and funny enough, in our personal, like, we're a member of the Credible Threat Gaming Division clan, because Chris is a big Division fan, and his excitement kind of pulled me back in, because I pulled him into some of the disorderly conduct stuff I'm making. And, it's like, oh, hey, man, I'm going to be playing some games and making content. You want to play games with me? That's a real hard question to ask Chris, because
1,000,000% up his alley.
It's like, oh, man, you want to play some games? So, Kim, you've seen some of the stuff where I'm linking some things and all that. We're looking at exotic weapons and upgrading some things and doing these chases for these guns. And I ended up playing with Chris and Chuck the other night, and it felt like, okay, cool, this game is starting to get here.
It's getting there.
It's one of those where it's like, man, I don't have World of Warcraft anymore. I'm playing Final Fantasy now. Hit level 70 in Final Fantasy, by the way. Yeah.
Yay!
10 more levels to go.
Yeah, like
10 more levels. But with everything going on, this is scratching an itch I wish Destiny 2 was.
Yeah, we haven't played Destiny 2 in a while.
And my issue with Destiny 2 isn't that it's a bad game. It's that it feels like there's not a lot new. And the thing we're running into is we've got all these maps, we've got all this cool stuff. But really, the only reason I want to play that game and fire it up is so we can do what mode again?
Gambit.
Yeah, because that is the best mode in that game.
Love Gambit.
I'm wearing a Destiny 2 shirt right now.
Love Gambit.
But,
love it.
Man, I'm telling you, this game, I think it has the potential to be something special. I hope I'm not wrong.
I'm assuming you have too. I've already pre-ordered the Warlords of...
Not only did I pre-order it, I pre-ordered Chuck's version for him.
Well, there you go. We're in.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, Chuck, your birthday's coming up. This is your birthday present.
I'm just... The new updates, and the other thing I'm really excited about this is, like, they more or less are going to introduce a Paragon-esque system.
Yes.
Where when you get to max gear score, then you can actually, as you level, you'll get the ability to get increased ability points. Very much like the Paragon system in Diablo, and I'm 100% for that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Way better than the other ones.
Yes. Well, the other thing is, like, it needs to be treated more like Diablo, because it is essentially a loot hunt. You're on that hunt. Like, right now, if I play this game, I'm hunting for a D50, high-end D50 frame. And there's a reason why I want that high-end D50, because I can upgrade that into an exotic pistol that gives me different abilities. And I need this exotic pistol.
Is that pistol you posted in Discord?
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't looked at. I saw a post of it, and I haven't looked at it yet, but I need to look at it.
No, dude, it is something special. Like, it definitely is one of those, like, it's one of those, like, almost game breaking things. And I love that how the exotics in this game are almost game breaking.
Good.
So yes.
Okay, we'll get excited for that.
Oh man, I can't wait.
Number 3. This is an interesting one because this kind of flew under the radar a little bit, but I remember this game when they announced it last year. Outriders. Do you remember Outriders?
I remember the announcement, but what I remember the most recently is when you shared the IGN thing of the trailer, and they got DMCA'd by Warner Brothers, and the video got taken down off of IGN's YouTube.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Well,
Warner Brothers came in and said, "Nah."
Let me post this in chat for all the Twitch viewers here, but within the 2 weeks, Outriders actually got revealed. They gave like a story trailer, and then they actually did some gameplay teases of it. I actually finally get to sit down and watch that. That looks interesting.
Yeah, it does.
I'm cautiously optimistic of it. If you guys want to see the full breakdown, you can check out the GameSpot article that I put in chat, and that will be in the show notes here. Did you get a chance to watch this footage at all?
I watched some of it, yes.
It's almost like a very fast-paced Gears of War with powers.
Mm-hmm.
And it is funny enough. It is from the guys who did the developers who I think People Can Fly, who did Gears of War Judgment. So
okay,
you kind of see the style there. But it was a very interesting, like the sci-fi world. It almost gives off like that Gears of War very fast vibe with maybe a touch of like a Soulsborne style game with how tough it is. I don't know. It's really cool, but don't want to spend too much on that. Just wanted to bring that to your guys' attention. definitely check out Outriders. It looks very interesting and very cool. New game on your guys' radar. It might be awesome. We'll find out this year because it is coming out in 2020. Number 4. Hit us up.
Yeah, this one's not as cool, unfortunately. GeForce Now has lost Activision Blizzard games. It's not really a big loss, but it's still a loss.
Zing!
Yeah, so all Activision Blizzard games have been pulled off of that streaming platform, and even though you're streaming a copy of a game you paid for, they're just loaded on the server and you sign into it. Apparently, people were getting banned on World of Warcraft because it breaks EULA, the end-user license agreement, to stream the game. Yeah. Yeah, so this is one of those, not really too big of a shocker that Activision Blizzard has pulled out. But you know what? Who else pulled out?
Oh,
Bethesda.
I didn't hear about this.
Bethesda Softworks has pulled all their games as well. This is when I saw that, I was like, there's something else that needed to be added. And this is on Polygon. So a week after losing all of its Activision Blizzard games, NVIDIA's GeForce Now streaming service has lost most Bethesda Softworks titles. Wolfenstein Youngblood will remain. NVIDIA said, NVIDIA rep told Polygon Youngblood will be only Bethesda title to stay on the service. So Fallout 3, 76, New Vegas, Elder Scrolls 5, Skyrim, and Special Edition Doom 2016, Dishonored, Dishonored 2, and The Evil Within 2 will all be gone. Play. Yeah, obviously. Who doesn't want to play Doom? Yeah, but no, Bethesda's pulling all of that stuff as well. It's a blow for NVIDIA, and yet for some reason they still have a bigger library than Stadia.
I think I saw they announced maybe this week that they have over 1 million users on GeForce Now.
Yeah, it's $5 a month, and you're literally playing the games you already own on the service. And if you don't own them, you buy them on Steam, sign in, and they're available.
I'm sure it's some legal reason why they had to pull those games off, but it still sucks. It's still kind of silly.
The thing is, they were available in the beta.
That's what makes it like...
This is stupid, because if there's a legal reason why, then why was it available in the beta?
Bingo.
Yeah.
Good question.
Jack Wolfhart, yes, I'm not going to read that, but I know the rhythm you're going for here.
Someone does not like Stadia. Basically, to sum up that comment from Jack Wolfhart.
Dude, there's a lot of people that hate Stadia. One of the YouTubers I follow, who's a big tech YouTuber, literally posted a video in the last couple days where he literally is, I hate myself for buying Stadia. This sucks. Oh. And he loved it when he was in South Africa, but now that he's back in Gainesville, it is garbage.
Wait. How's that? Okay.
Data centers, man.
Oh, yeah.
Data center locations. Well, also, it's different, U.S. internet and all that.
That's what makes it funny and interesting, that
yes.
comment. So, okay.
Yeah. You want to read the next one?
I will. Number 5 here, Project xCloud testing has begun for iOS. Now, as of this recording, they put a hold on it. But
because they're limited to so many users before Apple says, nah, dog.
Exactly. But on MajorNelson.com, they did announce that they have opened up their test flight preview to allow Project xCloud testing and streaming on iOS devices. They've opened up an initial batch of people, but they're going to bring in... we don't know if they're going to bring in any more. I'm sure they will. But for right now, they're at capacity with that. Were you able to get in?
No. I didn't even know about it. And I literally replied to Major Nelson and on a tweet about, hey, when's this coming to iOS?
Like, right now. Bam. So it is not there. So quick little update on that. But if you were able to get in, definitely let us know on the show what you think of the service so far on iOS, because we have not gotten on there. Will is preparing for the next story on the show. Please, Will, let the people know what you're looking at.
So apparently Halo, Microsoft has partnered with Nerf, and they're making Halo-themed Nerf blasters. So, yeah, dude, look, we got the UNSC MA40.
I want that.
We've got the Needler, and we got the pistol. I'm like, bro.
Oh, they have the pistol too?
Yeah, it shows the pistol in there. I'm going to tell you right now, the funny thing is, if you get the MA40, it comes with a code to unlock that color scheme for your gun in Halo Infinite. So I'm buying this gun.
Buying that gun. Yep.
Yeah. I need that and the pistol. I need it.
I want the Needler.
You and your pink flowery death. But that is the article, folks. So, yes. Yo, pistol melee. Dude, pistol and shotgun in that game in Halo 1 was just a nasty combo.
Jack Wolfhart in chat says, so we doing Magnums only at y'all's place? Maybe. We might.
Yo, I'm down for a Magnums only match. Or shotgun pistol.
We might be doing it, guys. You be on the lookout.
Yo. Oh, dude. I have an original Xbox. I have a copy of Halo 1. And I've got 2 controllers. If we can get 2 more original Xbox controllers, we'll do a 4-man split screen.
Did they patch it out of the Master Chief Collection?
It's not the same multiplayer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like the Halo 4, Halo 5 multiplayer, not the OG multiplayer. That's why I still got an Xbox 360 and an original Xbox.
Okay. Good point. Number 7.
We need 4 Xboxes and 16 controllers. Got it.
Hook up the LANs.
Yo, with them patch cables. Oh, dude, I don't know if we're going to have enough people with Xboxes for that.
We'll make it work.
I can bring an Xbox. I'm down. I don't have that many controllers, though.
Number 7, and finally on the news here for the evening, PlayStation is not going, even though you heard that they were going to be at PAX.
Before you jump into this, I have to read this. It's been redeemed. Those Halo weapons will get nerfed. Halo Atlantis, I'm about to nerf you.
Low-hanging fruit. That's all I got to say. Low-hanging fruit. That's all I got to say about that one.
Oh, man.
You thought PlayStation was going to be at PAX East. Well, they're actually not going to. Not going to PAX East, and they, along with Facebook, have pulled out of GDC. I'm going to read the notice about PAX East that they put on the PlayStation blog here. Quick little paragraph. Update. Today, Sony Interactive Entertainment made the decision to cancel its participation at PAX East in Boston this year due to increasing concerns related to the COVID-19, also known as the novel coronavirus. We felt this was the safest option as the situation is changing daily. We are disappointed to cancel our participation in this event, but the health and safety of our global workforce is our highest concern. End quote.
I'm not even mad. In all honesty, we don't know how many people are actually infected right now.
Yeah.
They're setting up Anniston, Alabama, as I believe there's a military base there that was where we disposed of a lot of mustard gas and things like that, biochemical stuff, and they're setting that up as a quarantine point in the state for anybody who's infected. We're talking in the States right now, Jack Wolfhart. I don't believe the Chinese government actually gives us real reporting of the actual information. I just don't trust them, period. Full stop. Don't trust China. But you can quote me on that too. That's a back-of-the-box quote for anything involving China. Don't trust them. You're over here giggling. But, no, in all seriousness, how many people were on those planes with the people that got sent back? There's a lot of variables. We need to protect the people that did get infected so they can get treatment. We need to protect everyone else from getting infected. And I'm going to be honest, right now, way everything is, if you're infected or you were around somebody who's infected, you need to be quarantined so that your family doesn't get sick, so you don't spread it, so other people don't get sick. It's a shame that we have to go to these levels, but unfortunately people don't tend to think about other people. I have literally been at work before where someone came in and they didn't have the flu, it was something else, and it was fairly contagious, and they handed one of my coworkers their device they wanted to get repaired and mentioned it afterwards.
Oh.
And they weren't wearing a face mask, they weren't doing anything else, they came in and they were only thinking about themselves. At that moment in my job, I was like, no, you need to leave. We can't help you until you're healthy, kind of thing. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to service anyone's products or, work in my job and be exposed to this willingly.
Yeah.
I'm just not about it. That's period. Full stop.
Agreed on that.
And no one needs to have to deal with that. Unfortunately, we're in a point where most of our society's gotten very self-centered and they don't care about others. So I say put them under lock and key and take their rights away until they're healthy. Sorry, I don't want to have to go that route, but
that sucks.
The rest of us deserve to be healthy too.
Yeah.
And so if that means that people like PlayStation and these other big corporations start pulling out of events to make sure that their people don't get sick, I am 100% okay with it. They can just do a state of play video, and we can move on.
Yeah, it's gonna suck that people won't be able to play The Last of Us Part 2 demo, but we only have to wait a couple more months until it comes out.
Or
anyway.
You know what, man? Why don't they just release The Last of Us Part 2 demo on PSN that people can download and play?
I would love that. But they don't have to. That's the problem.
I know, they don't have to, and they won't have to, because guess what? People are still going to buy this game. I'm going to wait for the Game of the Year edition. I'll just watch Cameron play it.
Got the collector's edition. I'm ready.
And that's cool, man. Whoa. Jack Wolfheart. I don't like pineapple on my pizza at all. But I don't think they need to be quarantined. I think they need to go to an insane asylum.
Yeah, that's good.
No, in all seriousness, though, like, everyone has the right to avoid this as much as possible. You have the right to be protected in your body as a human being. And, you know, people have a right to live, or attempt to have a fulfilling life. Yeah. So I don't care that they're pulling their people out. I actually think that some of these events should probably be canceled. I hate to say it, but I mean, let's be 100% honest. Right now, I'm not going to GCX this year because of this, because it's too close.
Yeah.
And guess where GCX is? It's in Orlando. It's a big tourist hub.
I know a lot of people have been saying, like, they've been telling people that they expect to have everything cured and under control in March, but, like...
just because we know how it's transferred doesn't mean that it's...
It's just, I think we talked about it in episode 2, like, how the coronavirus is kind of affecting the industry, and hear more examples of how it's affecting the industry. Now we're getting to a point where, like, conventions like PAX, potentially like E3. You know what's funny about E3 is that tickets are on sale now for E3. I remember, like, last year or the year before, they were sold out within like a couple of days to a week. They're still pushing tickets for E3, which means they still have some sold, which means this fear could very well be one of the reasons why, PAX, GCX, E3, Tokyo Game Show, a lot of other conventions around the world, Gamescom. I think Gamescom is the biggest gaming convention in the world. Like, how will it affect Gamescom? We'll only one thing to do is to find out. So,
and here's the other thing: a bunch of manufacturers have had manufacturing like totally disrupted by this.
Yep.
So, as an example, Hasbro, a lot of their stuff has been messed up as far as manufacturing goes and delayed. There is a creator, Mike Bellular. Mm-hmm. He's a YouTuber out of the UK. He does special pins on his Patreon for different tiers of supporters every year, every quarter, actually. And all of their production for that kind of stuff has been delayed. Another thing that's kind of crazy is, like, right now, like, my mother's birthday is March 1st, and I ordered her an Apple Watch Series 3 for her birthday.
Oh.
5-week ship time.
Ooh.
5 weeks. I've never seen anything that long outside of a launch window for Apple. Like, when I went to go get my phone, like, I bought the 11 Pro Max. Like, I bought it day of. And instead of waiting 4 or 5 weeks when they announced it, I just went to the store and bought it that day. I waited in line at 5 in the morning, got my phone, did the whole, Apple launch day thing, because I was like, no, I want to go get my phone that day. Your roommate was there with me waiting in line.
Yep.
So it's one of those, it's like, yeah, man, we had some fun. We got our phones, we got our stuff set up. It was a great day. Had a lot of fun. But at the same time, with everything going on, these ship times are not just them. A lot of people, and this is from the LA Times, like, we're talking like MGA, another manufacturer, some other stuff. Apparently Wells Fargo Securities saying that a lot of stocks are being hit by this and pushing the entire market down. So this is not going to be taken care of by March. We'll be lucky if it's taken care of by November.
We'll see.
I just, for something that spreads this quickly between people, and by the way, they found out that if you get infected and you get reinfected, you have like a 90% chance for it stopping your heart.
Nice. That's great.
So if you get infected and you get over it and you get reinfected, you're dead. So
roll the dice.
Yeah, it's this is not great.
You'll never see it coming.
Oh, I don't know if I would have used that one because I love that song. There's just a lot of crap going on, guys. And you know what? If that means that we got to wait till 2021 for new game consoles or toys and stuff like that, or phones and everything else, I don't care. People need to.
My backlog's big enough. I got.
Yeah, I got games to play. We're good. You know, there's plenty of other stuff out there in the world. I just want people to focus on getting healthy and not infecting other people. That should be priority number one. Like, we've got food on the table. We've got games to play. We're able to stream to you guys and talk to you about everything. There's so much worse things in life.
Agreed. Before we wrap up with the news, we do have a required reading. I'd like to point people to. This article is from IGN. It's from Logan Plant over at IGN. We have talked about it on the show numerous times, and there was a very good article on it. The article is The Truth About Working at GameStop. Workers reveal their experiences. And it goes pretty in-depth on what some of the people from the lowest of the totem poles, some managers of different stores, about what's been going on at GameStop and what some of the thoughts are that the employees have of what's going on there.
I bet you they closed 2,000 stores this year.
They, I think Seth was talking to me earlier saying that they're currently sharing at $4 a stock.
The only reason, so they're funny enough, I actually follow the GameStop news quite closely. So they purchased my first employer. My first employer was EB Games. Mm-hmm. I worked there back in the day. Funny enough, Jack Wolfhart, he's from Madison, Alabama, and I have watched a lot of his stuff. Camelot, yes, I'm very aware of who he is.
Camelot 331.
I've sent you links to some of his stuff.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, his P.O. box on his YouTube channel is from Madison. The guy's got a really messed up story of what happened to him. He was a GameStop employee. His district leader did some really messed up stuff, and a lot of that came out, and he got fired because he was one of the people who brought it up to light. And long story short, he decided to make YouTube videos about it. He's got over 100,000 subscribers now talking about this and the Amazon work conditions because he's trying to shed light on that. Which I have a whole take on that. I've stopped buying things on Amazon and started going to local stores instead.
Support local. Support small business.
Reason why I stopped, I'm going to put a comma here. Funny thing.
Okay.
Amazon has essentially said it's okay as long as their pick rates stay high if these people have to pee in bottles while they're at work instead of making bathroom breaks. Yes. They are okay with that as a company. And I don't support that. You should have to be able to have the decency of a human being to be able to go to the bathroom and come back and do your job.
Yeah, I don't know what to say to that.
Man, if I got some videos to show you about that crap.
Do not have to.
Yeah, so I don't support that at all. I'm not a fan. But going back to the GameStop thing, with everything tonight, like, in all honesty, I'm not surprised. I would not be surprised if GameStop ends up closing after the console launches happen permanently. Mm-hmm. The only thing keeping them alive right now is the phone trade-ins, because essentially they're selling them off to other countries.
It's funny. Read the article. It talks very much about the phone trade-ins and how apparently that has been a huge pusher, and they've been pushing that very, very hard.
Yeah.
They've been telling employees to push that very hard for people.
So hard, in fact, that if you are, say, a store leader there and you don't make phone trades for 3 weeks, you will be fired. And then your replacement, if they don't make it in 2 weeks, they will be fired. They are firing people at an insane rate for not meeting these numbers. They're hemorrhaging people left and right. And
they are accelerating their own closure. Let me just put that.
Yes. To give you guys an idea, if you make an HR complaint, they find a reason to get rid of you. They do not care. In fact, there's another story, funny enough, from Camelot, and I can't validate its legitimate, how legitimate it is and things like this, but he's showing screenshots of conversations with these people on screen where they message him on LinkedIn and other places. And essentially, to avoid paying severance to a store leader and somebody else, they found a reason to fire another store leader at a different store down the road and their subordinate and move those people over. And it just made me feel real scummy for all the times that I worked at GameStop, or EB Games as it was acquired, back in the 360 launch era. and then every time I've ever supported GameStop. I'm like, I'm done with this company. It is trash.
That's gross.
Yeah.
That's gross, man. Sorry.
They have no regard for their own employees or the fact that they're humans. It's such a shame.
Well, hope you don't feel too bad because we've got some digging to do here. We've got our topic of the show coming up here, guys. Before we jump into the topic of the show here, what we're gonna do something a little weird, a little different, but that's why we have the Rock Punch show here. We're gonna skip table talk tonight, so the topic of the show is going to be our last topic for tonight. I did want to bring up, though, over the last 2 weeks, some of the stuff we did play. Bleeding Edge. Didn't talk about this as the top of the show with our content, but Bleeding Edge had their beta a week or so ago. If you missed out on that, we have a new video up on our YouTube page called Quick Look, where you can actually see gameplay of Bleeding Edge, and actually I kind of voiced over some of my thoughts on the game so far. I think it's like 20-ish minutes, but if you want to check out Bleeding Edge...
It's actually 18 minutes and 3 seconds.
Okay, ooh, man, you're really good.
No, I'm just really on our YouTube right now.
But if you want to check out more about that and Bleeding Edge, because that is a game that I played over the past 2 weeks, and you want to hear my thoughts on it, head over to our YouTube page, check out the video, let us know what you think, of course, there. And then there were a bunch of other games we talked about, but a couple of those can be found on... Check out our archive of our streams here on Rocket Punch Live on Twitch, as well as heading over to our YouTube page. You can see a lot of other games that we've played if you want to check them out and kind of see our thoughts and comments on those. And just for the sake of time, we're going to skip table talk for tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you know what we're playing, let's be honest. It's Final Fantasy. It's, everything else.
You know what we're about.
Yeah.
But let's get into topic of the show.
Yes. Actually, I'm interested in this topic, but it also makes me feel bad.
The topic of the show tonight is what the hell's going on with E3. The reason to bring this up, I'm going to read, in case you missed it for some reason, the statement put out from Geoff Keighley on, when was this dated? February 12th.
Which is crazy because this man is literally one of the biggest non-game developer game names in the industry.
Yep. A statement from Geoff Keighley on E3. For the past 25 years, I have attended every electronic entertainment expo. Covering, hosting, and chairing E3 has always been a highlight of my year, not to mention a defining part of my career. I've debated what to say about E3 2020. While I want to support the developers who will showcase their work, I also need to be open and honest with you, the fans, about precisely what to expect from me. I have made the difficult decision to decline to produce E3 Coliseum. For the first time in 25 years, I will not be participating in E3. I look forward to supporting the industry in other ways and at other events in the future. End quote.
Oh.
What?
As I look at this, you're literally like the third comment down that I see.
Oh, yeah. They have a very nice algorithm of
No, I'm just saying, that's interesting because I was like, I didn't realize that would be a thing.
So, Geoff Keighley's not going to be at E3.
Nope.
Sony's not at E3.
Technically, Microsoft's not because they got their own separate event.
They're in the area of E3, but they're not at the E3 building.
Technically, EA's not at E3.
E3 is not. Yeah, they're not. They have their own area too.
Nintendo has its own video. They'll have a Treehouse Live, but it's not the same thing.
What?
What's the point of E3?
What the hell? What the hell? And some of the questions I have in here, and us talking about E3 and this breaking news, what is going on with E3 and the ESA? Is it in trouble? If it goes away, what would replace it, if anything? And then, if you have any ideas, how would you make it better?
Honestly, 100%, I think if E3 goes away, we wouldn't have too much of a bad thing because everybody started doing their own curated releases around that time anyway. Instead of being a big gaming event, because really PAX East, PAX West, and PAX South are big gaming events. You have DreamHack, which we have Atlanta,
That's
Dallas.
That's all
They're
over
getting
the world.
bigger.
They're getting bigger.
So DreamHack is getting into where it's monstrous, and I love that. DreamHack, yes. Because, actually, I do want to go back to DreamHack this year.
I know you do. Well,
That's going to be a thing.
Second half we got time.
But with everything going on, because we have more events where people can go and have a booth, they can do an announcement, they can do a keynote. I mean, I'm going to be honest, I don't know if we need E3 anymore. Because we also have things like GCX, where it's literally, we have a whole event around gamer communities and being a positive influence. And that event was spawned from the Guardian Con, which was spawned by people wanting to have a positive gaming community, raising money to help other people, such as kids with, the children's hospitals and things along those lines. So, and that's very, very loose framing of the idea behind GCX, but it's still the idea of we have community expos now. We have PAX. We have these other events. And not only that, I'm going to be honest, man, I think Tokyo Game Show and, what the heck is the one out of Germany?
Gamescom.
Yeah, Gamescom, in all honesty, are much better put together as far as what can be done at those events.
I don't know what the ESA wants to do with E3.
Well, and
they clearly don't.
And the thing is, though, as an example, Gamescom, they have a very defined identity of what is for what and when it's for it. So in the first couple days, it's press only. They have all the big keynotes, that kind of thing. And then the second half is for the fans to come and try things out, experience it, talk to developers, that kind of thing. It has a divide. All right, here is all the announcements, the press, everything else, and it's excellent as far as that. I enjoy watching Gamescom because of that.
And what's funny is that E3 is trying a similar approach this year. So for E3 2020, they're doing the same thing. It's from the 9th through 11th. The June 9th is only open to press or people that buy the participant.
No.
The premium badge, which, surprise, $1,000 if you want a premium badge to go to E3.
Here's my problem. I don't think the premium badge should exist. I do not think it should exist. I think there needs to be a day dedicated for press events that are for the industry. That way these guys have time to talk to each other and do the backdoor deals that we know happens there because that's an industry event. They're making deals, they're shaking hands, they're demoing products. This is literally part of the reason why this event exists. If you look at a lot of the stuff, like the event where they announced the very first PlayStation, it was press only and almost felt like a rented out boardroom in a hotel. Let's be 100% honest.
Yeah.
That is what E3 was, and it was an industry event. They got transformed into a fan event, but it was never meant to be that. Yeah. I love the press conferences. I want to have those for us to see. They stream them now. There's no need to be in those first couple days if you're not a member of the press or the industry. If you're not press, you're not industry, you shouldn't be there. I'm totally cool with them making it a week-long event, and the second part being, let's showcase the games. Let's get hands on it. Let's make it an event.
And see, what makes me concerned about this, Geoff Keighley was open to questions here, and somebody had asked him a comment, something along the lines of could you go into more detail as to why you won't be at E3? And he had alluded to the fact that there were decisions that were made that he had heard about that he just wasn't down with how they're changing the show this year.
Yeah.
Because there's apparently this huge change and shift in what E3 is to try and see if they're going to appease that. And I will be very upfront and honest. I was this close to looking at going to E3. And then
so that he and I were talking about going to different shows this year so we can cover them as Rocket Bunch.
And I saw this news from Geoff Keighley, and I was like, can't do it.
A, expense. B, at this point, if you're going out to LA, just bring Whitney with you and you just go on vacation.
Well, yeah, and see, I had ulterior motive too. So the other reason I would have liked to go to E3 is that the week after that, they had the Final Fantasy VII concert.
So you could then go to E3, spend a good week with Whitney over there, and then go to the concert.
Yes. Doesn't matter now because they actually opened, they will have the concert in Atlanta. in the same time frame.
Really? So when are we going?
The tickets open at the end of the month.
Good. Let me know.
Oh yes,
I am down. Because yes,
I'm excited about
there is one thing that Final Fantasy has always done right, and that's the music.
Yes,
And I don't think anybody here can argue with me on that.
But it really concerned me that he was saying like what E3 is doing, and especially like talking and chatting online with a lot of other content creators that were like, well, you know, for small people, I don't think it's best to go to E3. You know, honestly, I think right now, because of that, I'm looking more at going to maybe hitting up one of the PAX West. And even then, I'm skeptical of it because if the coronavirus isn't done by the time PAX West comes out, which is like in the fall time frame, then I might not be going to that.
Honestly, we should just go to DreamHack.
We can go to DreamHack too. DreamHack's always fun.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying we should just go to DreamHack and just stream live at DreamHack. I think that would be better.
September 11th.
Excellent.
But no.
Wow, that is a crazy day.
What is?
No, I'm just my brain connecting things. Don't mind me.
But no, everything's better in LA. You're funny, Jack Wolfhart. But no, I just don't. E3. I think after Geoff Keighley, who has helped produce or work with E3 for 25 years, big name in the video game industry, decides he wants to pull out of E3. That's a warning sign. Big warning sign. And I couldn't ignore that one. I'm really curious to how E3 is going to go this year. I really am.
And there's rumors that Nintendo may just bail on it entirely. Just do a video and move on. Because that is floating around out there right now, too.
That's not good.
Yeah,
So,
if Nintendo bails, Xbox is down the street. They're not actually there. Like, Sony's not there. They're just going to pop a video out. EA is going to have their thing. The only people there are going to be like Ubisoft.
yeah.
And honestly, at that point, why doesn't he's just do his own thing instead of doing E3? They could just rent a hotel and set it up.
Ubisoft has a lot of IPs, so if they pull out in any way from E3, that's another huge blow.
Well, because EA they're doing their own thing, so they're separate. If Ubisoft pulls out, so you have Activision Con? What do they make? Call of Duty and Blizzard games.
Yeah, just go BlizzCon. You'll be fine. But no, okay, so second question on this. If it goes away, would something replace it, if anything? You are saying...
I don't think we need it.
Don't you think we need it?
No, because PAX has become such a big gaming convention. We have PAX East, South, and West.
Mm-hmm.
We have 3 points in the U.S. where that could be done. Heck, they could partner up with GCX and do a community thing there. They could do their own videos. True. I mean, Xbox and PlayStation are both big enough now that they could have their own mini events and host these other people like Ubisoft and everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And they could bring, Ubisoft could bring, Assassin's Creed to PlayStation, and then they could bring Tom Clancy stuff to Xbox and announce at both events, and everything would work out. Yeah. Of course, it'll all be on PC anyway, but my point is, or Ubisoft is big enough now, they could just do their own event for a day and move on.
Yeah, good. They have enough games.
Honestly, at this point, there's Jack Wolfhart. We're good. We don't need to go back.
I've been a couple times actually.
Yeah. You know what? As much as I hate Blizzard right now for the crap they're pulling, that was still an awesome event.
It was like BlizzCon is awesome. Don't get it twisted. It's just it's really hard right now.
Yes. Well, the issues with the parent, not the child.
Ooh, good. Ooh, I like that. I'm gonna steal that.
Yes.
My big thing, if E3 goes away, do we need something in there? I think that...
Well, what else happens around June?
This is a weird thing to say. So, I think... Could we use another gaming convention? I think so. Some replacement for E3. I think more than anything, maybe it just needs to be helmed by someone other than the ESA. Maybe from other people who know... Maybe the PAX guys come up and they take over E3 and there's a new PAX. It's called PAX. They already have PAX Prime. Hell, I can't use that. PAX Alpha or something like that. I don't know, but some
PAX Omega.
Yeah, and like they could do something there, or even it doesn't even have to be tied to anything. If it's just they use the dead rotting corpse of E3 and just put the
logo on the thing,
put the skin suit on, but it's somebody else manipulating it inside. Like I think
no, even better. We just use Jax to override the E3 corpse. And use that to attack the gaming community.
It's just, I think E3 can exist because E3 is just so synonymous. Like E3 has been embedded in gaming culture. It's like Gamer Christmas, and I just think that some radical changes need to happen, and I think it shouldn't be shameful to just look at what everybody else is doing at Gamescom and PAX and all these other conferences around the world and get ideas from them on how to make E3 more proactive to what our community and stuff needs. Like, one of the big things that Geoff had made a comment about was that he thinks that the show should be more digital. There should be more digital stuff in there. And that makes a lot of sense.
Well, that's with the times. Like, everything's digital consumption now.
I would love it if, like, and think about how much money people would save, like, if you had, like, these, one of the nice things about going to E3 and going to these conferences is you get to see these exclusive videos, maybe these exclusive panels. You know what? I'm going to bring up BlizzCon. So, whatever you want to say about BlizzCon, but one of the cool things about BlizzCon is if you paid for the virtual ticket,
you can still watch all the big panels.
And how cool would that be if you had E3 where if you couldn't, you get your press events,
yep,
you get your press conference, that's fine. But if you want to be a part of the panels, maybe actually have panels at E3 and other discussion points and like other smaller stages with reveals, and actually pay like, hey, I'll pay $40 to say I want the E3 pass, so that way I can sit at home and we can just watch.
Yeah, we get a stream right from the E3 guys. We still have to risk getting our data exposed like the last year's attendees.
Yay. But like being able to watch and see the panels and coverage that they have without actually having to go out and fly to LA to experience that, I think would be very, very cool and very informative and really helps break that barrier between the gamer and the industry.
So on GameIndustryBiz.biz, they've got all the big gaming events listed throughout the year, throughout the industry, and E3's not on their June list.
Oh, wow.
They don't even have E3 on there. And they've got Gamescom, PAX, all that stuff on there. So, yeah, even the Middle East Gamescom over in Abu Dhabi is on there, but E3's not.
Wow.
Whew. That's rough when you don't even make it onto GameIndustry.biz.
Yeah, that is pretty rough because that's a gold standard for a lot of gaming news. But no, I
think something needs to be in the June timeframe. Maybe, and this is a weird idea. You know the guys that do Dragon Con?
Mm-hmm.
What if they took the idea and did a June industry event in Atlanta?
That would be cool and awesome. And honestly, I would love that just because it would bring that gaming culture down here.
Bring it to the South.
Bring it to the South. Bring it to Atlanta. I love it.
We'll show you the Southern hospitality.
We'll open doors for you and get you some sweet tea.
We'll throw Chick-fil-A at you, and
like come on.
We got chicken sandwiches. We got sweet tea.
But
we even got Waffle Houses open 24/7. So that way, after you're drunk, after all the events and everything, you go hit up, get you some waffles and eggs. Trust me, it's worth it.
It is good. But I think E3 has a place, but E3 needs to die so that it can be reborn. I think I really think that. I think that it needs to go away so that I don't want to say more forward-thinking people, but that like different people can get at the helm of this and bring up new ideas for it to bring it back even stronger.
I'm going to be honest. I think E3, if it needs to be replaced, we should have Yves, Phil, and what's his name over in charge of Sony right now? Because it just changed.
Herman Holst?
Yeah. Get him, and then get a representative from each company, and they need to form a panel, all right, and have their own industry game event in June.
Well, I think Sony and Microsoft and Ubisoft are on like the board for E3 for the ESA.
Well, then they need to use their damn votes to make something happen, because this is crap.
Yeah, I just don't. It feels like people are leaving left and right.
Kendrick, you are not wrong. It's the blood of the South. I just like coffee instead of tea, but I still know we got to throw gallons of sweet tea at people.
Jack Wolfhart in chat says, keep your sweet tea, yuck. And then Kendrick says, sweet tea is the blood of the South. You are correct, sir. It is 100% the blood of the South.
Look, man, I know that I find it hilarious that my youngest sibling was up in Pennsylvania, and when she found out they didn't serve sweet tea, she got very upset.
What? I have a funny story about getting sweet tea up north, and I'll tell you off mic.
And I don't drink sweet tea. I don't drink tea, but I still find this hilarious.
It's still pretty good. But no, I really.
So, I got a quote from a movie that a lot of people don't like, and you probably already know what's coming, but let the past die. Kill it if you have to.
I said that, and I'm like, God, he's going to quote Star Wars. I know it's going to happen. I like, yeah.
Jack Wolfhart, I hate to break it to you, the South has sweet tea and it runs on it. Whether you drink it or not, it's there.
Yeah, it's true. I want it to succeed, but I just think that it has to die in order for it to succeed. I think that it's the industry itself as a whole has changed. You think about how gaming was back when we were growing up in the 90s.
Yeah, where you were waiting for that that episode of Electronic Gaming Monthly so you could find out what happened at E3. Or that issue, not episode.
And it feels like E3, like the gaming landscape has changed up to 2020, and E3 has either not changed or it has haphazardly changed. Like, let's make an adjustment here, let's make an adjustment there. But they really haven't taken in the concept of digital distribution and other flexible methods of like interacting with your fans, because again, like the barrier to interact with your fans is thinner than ever.
Literally, BlizzCon, they have digital ticket, so cool. You know who else has something that you can stream it? I've actually watched Gamescom streamed live on Twitter from an official page.
Really?
Yeah, I was watching the press events on Twitter because it happened to be popping up there when I was scrolling through. I'm like, oh, they're live? Cool. And I just pulled it up in Twitter on my phone and had it playing. I'm like, this is awesome.
Pretty cool.
The fact that I didn't have to pay for that or anything was awesome, but at the same time, it's also looking at like, all right, cool. They want you to know what's happening. And I think Gamescom honestly would end up replacing E3.
I mean, by sheer size, it already has. Like,
I mean as far as importance.
If E3 went away, yeah.
Yeah, I think it would replace it. I'm okay and not okay with that because that's us ceding power to the Germans. And I'm never okay with that as an American. Look at World War I and II for my reasons.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But also, like, let's be entirely honest. I think PAX Prime would be a dope replacement. Just partner with PAX Prime.
PAX Prime exists. I just don't know what it's about.
Look, it doesn't matter. You make it about it.
Google it, find out.
Yeah. It's really PAX West.
Okay. Easy enough. So
that's really, they just call it West, but it's Prime. It's the original.
So guys, what do you think? What are your thoughts on E3 of Geoff Keighley leaving? Are you concerned? Are you worried about it? Should you be worried about it if E3 does die? If it is in trouble, what should replace it, if anything, or how would you make it better? Let us know, of course, in chat and comments if you're watching this via video on YouTube. Let us know in Twitch chat. Let us know on our social media channels at Rocket Punch Go on Twitter and Instagram, at Rocket Punch Network over on Facebook. Let us know what your guys' thoughts are. We always love hearing them.
Yep.
That's it. We're not doing table talk tonight because
it's too much.
We don't have time. There's too much stuff. We had to catch up on 2 weeks of news, so that alone packed us in.
Ooh, buddy.
So that is it for episode 3 of the Rocket Punch Show. Final thoughts, comments you got for us or people?
You know what? Don't go to these events this year, not because they're bad or they're dying. Do it to stop spreading all this stuff. Because even if you go to an event, it's not uncommon for people to pick up the con crud like, just wash your hands as often as you can. Try to take care of yourself. Be clean. Be a decent human being, and don't spread the sickness.
We went to DreamHack last year, and all of us had a bottle of hand sanitizer at all times.
No, and my favorite part is I left a big one because my computer was on the end of the row where people would just walk by and pump, and they used it, and I was okay with it because it's like, yes, sanitize, sterilize.
Please.
Like, take care of yourself, stay clean, and just be a decent human being and don't spread things.
And Jack Wolfhart in chat here, last comment. E3 isn't dying; it's already died. Any good announcements last year from it? Nope, not really. I had some.
Actually, I liked what they announced with the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate.
We got Keanu.
Yeah, I mean, Cyberpunk. I mean, that was.
We got Keanu.
But again, like, Cyberpunk could have just, like, CD Projekt Red could have just partnered with Microsoft and done it at the Xbox Con or whatever. Actually, wait, why do we need this? Microsoft has already done their own convention. They've done one in Mexico City. Like,
bring PlayStation Experience back.
Yeah, just do PlayStation Experience, and you can do it literally a week apart. So you can have one on one Saturday, one on the other Saturday, and just do it in Vegas.
I'll be down for that. Definitely.
Well, because everybody's already going to Vegas anyway for all these other conventions.
Maybe Vegas is the new spot. It's the new hotness.
I don't know. They tried to rebrand themselves as family friendly, and I still don't believe that shit.
That's funny. That's very funny.
Have you seen those commercials?
No, I haven't. I don't need to. I already know. But guys, thank you so much for joining us for episode 3 of the Rocket Punch Cast. Remember, Rocket Punch Go. Head over to our website. Check out all of our new content. We've got reviews, videos, all sorts of cool stuff coming your way, and a whole lot of new episodes for Console Wars and Dice Decks and Design, our board game podcast, coming your way. So don't miss out on that.
We should do a raid.
We're doing a raid? Okay, awesome.
Yes.
So we're going to end the podcast for all the podcast listeners. If you're watching via Twitch, don't go anywhere. We're going to raid one of our fellow members on the Twitch Huntsville team. So hang tight. Don't worry. I didn't let you know. So I'm trying something new. I've got a new tagline at the end of the show now. And I came up with it during the stream based on some information that I had heard via another stream a couple weeks back. I don't know. Story regardless. But new tagline here for Rocket Punch Show and just in general for content that we might be doing here. Thank you guys much for listening to the Rocket Punch Show. Good night and good game.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
That was good, right?
Yeah. Bye. Golf claps.